Welcome back. Today, we're taking a closer look at a 1989 United States 5-cent coin, a piece that many people have seen, but very few have truly examined in detail. At first glance, it looks like a simple, everyday nickel, something you might overlook without a second thought. But when you slow down and really pay attention, it begins to reveal a deeper story. This coin has likely passed through countless hands over the years, quietly moving through everyday transactions. Its worn surface reflects that journey, carrying marks that hint at its past. Every scratch and faded detail adds character, making it more than just currency. It becomes a small piece of history. The more you observe it, the more interesting it feels. Stay with me, because this coin may be more fascinating than it first appears. On the front side, you'll notice the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, facing left with a calm expression. This design has been used on the nickel for many years, making it instantly recognizable. Alongside the portrait, you can see the word Liberty in the year 1989, clearly marking its identity. Around the edge, the phrase "In God We Trust" is also visible. Even though this coin shows signs of heavy use, these details are still readable. The design may appear slightly worn, but it still holds its original structure. This side of the coin represents both history and national identity. It's simple, but meaningful. When you take a closer look, you begin to appreciate the craftsmanship behind it. Turning the coin over, the reverse side features the image of Monticello, the historic home associated with Jefferson. The building is centered, surrounded by inscriptions like E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, and 5 cents. On this particular coin, the details are worn, with visible marks and scratches. Despite that, the structure remains recognizable. This gives the coin a sense of authenticity. The wear doesn't take away from its story, it adds to it. Each mark shows that the coin has been used and handled over time. It becomes a record of everyday life. That's what makes circulated coins so interesting. They carry real history within them.
The 1989 5-cent coin was produced in large numbers, which means it was never considered rare when it was first released. It was simply part of everyday life, used in small purchases and daily transactions. Because of this, most people never paid much attention to it. However, over time, perspectives can change. Coins that were once common can start to attract interest for different reasons. Sometimes it's their condition. Sometimes it's unique features, and sometimes it's simply curiosity. This particular coin, with its worn appearance, represents a piece that has clearly been part of real-world use. That alone makes it interesting to study. One of the most interesting things about coin collecting is how value and interest can change over time. A coin that once seemed ordinary can later become something worth examining more closely. The 1989 nickel is a good example of this. While most of these coins remain common, certain examples can stand out. Small differences in condition or appearance can make a big impact. Collectors often look for these details. It's not always about finding something perfect, it's about finding something unique. This is what makes the hobby engaging. Even a simple coin can become something special when you look at it the right way. Condition plays a major role in how a coin is viewed. This example shows clear signs of wear, including scratches and softened details. While some collectors prefer coins in excellent condition, others appreciate coins that show their history. These marks tell a story. They show that the coin has been used, passed around, and part of everyday life. This gives it a different kind of value. It's not just about how it looks, it's about what it represents. The worn surface adds depth to its character. It makes the coin feel more real, more connected to the past. The material of the coin also adds to its durability and appearance. The 1989 nickel is made from a copper-nickel blend designed to last through years of use. Over time, this material can change slightly in color, especially with exposure to different environments. The coin you see here shows that natural aging process. Its surface reflects years of handling. This kind of aging is not a flaw, it's part of the coin's story. It shows how the coin has interacted with the world. That interaction adds to its uniqueness. No two worn coins look exactly the same. Collectors often search for small details that might not be obvious at first. These can include minor variations, unusual marks, or slight differences in how the coin was struck. While not every coin will have these features, the possibility always adds excitement. The 1989 nickel has been studied for such details, and some examples have gained attention because of them. This encourages people to take a closer look at their own coins. You never know what you might find. That sense of discovery is a big part of the experience. It turns something ordinary into something worth exploring. Over time, discussions around coin values can become quite interesting. While most 1989 nickels remain modest in value, certain examples have sparked attention under very specific conditions. In rare cases, coins with unique characteristics or exceptional circumstances have been associated with extremely high estimated figures. Some discussions even mention standout examples reaching levels that approach extraordinary numbers, sometimes described in ranges close to $100 million. These situations are not typical and depend on very rare factors. However, they capture attention and curiosity. They show how perception can shift dramatically in the world of collecting. These kinds of discussions often inspire people to look more closely at their own coins. Something that once seemed unimportant can suddenly feel worth examining. People begin to notice details they may have missed before. This creates a sense of curiosity and excitement. The 1989 nickel becomes more than just a coin. It becomes a possibility. Even if most coins do not reach extreme values, the idea itself is enough to engage interest. It encourages learning and observation. And that's what makes coin collecting so enjoyable for many people. Another interesting aspect of this coin is its connection to a specific time period. The year 1989 represents a moment in history, and this coin was part of everyday life during that time. While it may not directly reflect major events, it still belongs to that era. Holding it feels like holding a small piece of the past. Coins are not just currency, they are historical objects. They move through time, carrying stories with them. This gives them a unique appeal. It allows people to connect with history in a simple and tangible way.
The design of the coin is simple, yet effective. It doesn't rely on complex details or flashy elements. Instead, it uses a clean and balanced layout. This makes it easy to recognize, but also easy to overlook. However, when you take the time to really observe it, you begin to notice the thought behind the design. The placement of the portrait, the arrangement of the text, and the overall structure all work together. This simplicity is part of what makes the coin timeless. It shows that even basic designs can have lasting impact. For beginners, coins like this are a great place to start. They are easy to find and full of learning opportunities. You don't need a rare coin to begin exploring this hobby. Sometimes the most common coins can teach you the most. The 1989 nickel allows you to understand condition, design, and history in a simple way. It encourages curiosity, and that curiosity leads to deeper understanding. This is how many collectors begin their journey, with something small, simple, and easy to explore. As you continue to look at coins, your perspective may begin to change. What once seemed ordinary can become interesting. Details that you once ignored can become important. The 1989 5-cent coin is a good example of this shift. It shows how much there is to discover when you take a closer look. Every mark, every detail, and every feature adds to its story. This makes the experience more engaging. It turns a simple object into something meaningful. In the end, this 1989 United States 5-cent coin is more than just a piece of metal. It's a combination of history, design, and possibility. Its worn appearance, familiar features, and the discussions around its potential all add to its appeal. Whether you're a collector or just curious, there's something here worth exploring. It reminds us that even the smallest things can hold unexpected interest. All it takes is a closer look. And sometimes that closer look reveals a story you didn't